there may be some people, if we get any callers from Buffalo, they may want to trash their star quarterback, Josh Allen, because last night was dismal. 29 for 41. That sounds good. 236 yards. But one touchdown pass, Rob, 3 interceptions, and a fumble.
A big fumble.
Yeah. I mean, and that's, look, I get it. The Jets do have a top flight defense.
Yeah, but if you give anybody you get 4 takeaways. I mean, come on, Chris. You can't. I get it, and I'm not trying to take anything away from the Jets either. But this is a Josh Allen problem. So I can't, because of the numbers. It doesn't matter who he's playing against. It's not the Jets defense solely. Oh, they forced him into the what? Then everybody, they must have been on the road with him the last 3 years, because everybody's got.
Well, last night obviously an aberration. He's got a turnover problem. I've said it, Rob.
Yes,
he is in many ways this generation's Brett Favre. Now, Favre won a Super Bowl. Favre won 3 straight MVPs. And so Josh has yet to do that. He's been in the top 3 in MVP voting twice. Obviously hasn't even gotten to a Super Bowl. So he's got some things to accomplish. But in terms, Rob, of the greatness, Favre was great. Josh Allen is great. But Favre was reckless. We know he has the most interceptions in NFL history. And Rob, Josh Allen is reckless. And he's not, the thing about Josh Allen is this. He's not only reckless with his passing, his throwing of the football, or his running with the football, hence the fumbles, but he's also reckless with his body, Rob. I mean, on just regular runs, not game-winning, potentially game-winning.
Right. There was one last night where he jumped up over 3 guys. And, I mean, this was like early in the first half. It was a meaningless play. It wasn't even for a first down. It was to get a couple extra yards.
He was about 7 yards from
You know
the
what I'm
first
talking
down
about?
marker.
You remember that? I just thought to myself, are you crazy?
Rob, if he keeps this up physically, where he's running over guys, jumping over guys, I think you know who he's going to end up like physically. Cam Newton. Cam Newton was great for 10 years, but, I mean, and he was big, just like Josh Allen. But, Rob, there's a reason running backs have a short shelf life, because they take so many hits. And Josh Allen is basically putting himself in that position like a running back, just like Cam Newton did. You got to slide. He never met a slide he liked. I mean, dude does not slide, doesn't run out of bounds. That's great if you're a fullback or a halfback. You're a quarterback. So he's got go ahead, Rob. I know you got something to say.
No, I don't understand why this hasn't been corrected already, Chris. This is not new from the standpoint of, dude, to get a first down to win the game, I got it. Do whatever you got to do to get there. But other than that, dude, you got to stop this, okay? You're hurting yourself. You're hurting the team long term. It doesn't make sense in the meaningless plays. You got to get that through to him. And I don't know why they haven't been able to thus far, because it makes no sense. Well, I don't care how big and bruising you think you are. You just said it. I would show him video of Cam Newton. Yep. And then what happens too, Chris, and you remember this, officials let them get even, players get even saucier with Cam Newton because he was big and strong. He got extra, like normally you touch Tom Brady or one of these other guys, it was a whistle. They would club him and it would be no call.
Because they're right. And they're going to let, Rob, defensive backs and defensive players in general are going to be able to tee off on Josh Allen to a large degree. Because he's not sliding. You got to let him tackle him. So you're absolutely right about that. And I I think, Rob, if you listen to last night's press conference, and Rob G, do we have any sound from last night's press conference? But he see if you can get some. But he had a quote. He was talking about himself almost as if at times he didn't have control over it. All right, here we go. Josh Allen last night.
I hurt our team tonight. I cost our team tonight. And it feels eerily similar to last year, and I hate that it's the same. I do.
And he also said, like, same place or same blank, same place, same outcome, something like that. Like, he was talking about it as if, like, I don't know what happened, but it's the same thing as last year. I can't, like, dude, you can make better decisions. And Rob, when I'm getting to with his quotes about same thing as last year, eerily similar, as if he didn't make those decisions, as if stuff just happened to him. Rob, that's kind of how he plays. He doesn't really think out there. We hear guys say, don't think, you just play off instinct. But as a quarterback, you do have to have that balance between thinking and playing.
And we also got to be fair. I mean, Chris, he was that close when he drove the ball down against Kansas City, and then Mahomes and them were able to win in the last, 13 seconds? Like, you remember the defense couldn't stop?
Yeah.
I mean, he was close
to getting to the Super Bowl.
To getting to the Super Bowl, that close. So he's a talented player. We're not sitting here acting like he's not talented.
A great
I know.
Player. Yeah.
But I think I really believe like he's regressing. I do. It just doesn't seem the same. This is what, I don't know, Chris. Maybe it was just, I can't give you the raw numbers or tell you why I felt the way I did. But I've been saying I'm down on Buffalo. I'm down on them. The way that they went out in the playoffs last year. There's something about Josh Allen with the turnovers. The Stephon Diggs thing. Oh, it's no big deal. If it wasn't a big deal, we wouldn't have heard about it. Okay? So there's a lot of stuff that goes on, Chris, that we don't hear about, right? Because it's not that big. But there's other stuff that gets out for a reason. And there's just something about Buffalo that doesn't feel right to me. I don't.
Well, no, look, you didn't pick them to make the playoffs. I got them making the playoffs, but I don't have them, getting to the AFC championship game or obviously beyond. But I agree. Look, Josh Allen is a great player. But to your point, you're not the only one to say him regressing. And Rob, I think, and I said this is not a second guess. Remember this offseason, Buffalo gave head coach Sean McDermott a contract extension. Why? I don't know. Because it wasn't like he was going to be a lame duck coach.
It was coming off
a few years left off his deal.
Right, and he was coming off a bad playoff loss.
Right. And my thing is, McDermott has done a very good job in Buffalo. He's turned them into a perennial playoff team, which is great because they think they had only made the playoffs like once in the last decade and a half or so before he got there. But you do have to now wonder, Rob, can he take them to the next level, Sean McDermott? And I'm not saying fire him right now, but I'm saying why I wouldn't have given him a contract extension. I would play it out. Let's see. But here's what I want to get to, Rob. I think Josh Allen needs an offensive coach. And I don't mean the offensive coordinator. Every team has that, obviously. But I mean he needs an offensive head coach. Because he needs somebody. And Ken Dorsey, if you had a great offensive coordinator, maybe that would suffice. But Ken Dorsey just not getting it done. Brian Dable was an offensive coach. He was the OC. That's when Josh Allen took that jump and became a star. But that's where Ephraim and you and others have said since then he's regressing or certainly not improving. And to me, Rob, he needs like an offensive mind working with them constantly who's getting results. Ken Dorsey's, I'm sure, working with him constantly, but he ain't getting results.
Right.
And you got a talent here. And you have to maximize it. You don't want this to, because look, we're talking, Rob, about them getting to the next level. We're not talking about them being good. We're not talking about them making the playoffs.
Right.
They got to get a Super Bowl.
That. Right. Past that. And I'm so down on them. I'm saying they're not even going to make the playoffs. Like that you shouldn't even be in that, Chris. That shouldn't even be a conversation.
Right.
For real.
Right.
Not with the talent that they have. It shouldn't even be in. I shouldn't even be feeling that way.
No, it is. So, look, I'm not going to throw Josh out after one bad game. Like I said, right, the Jets, they're a tough team for him. Last 3 games, 2 touchdowns, 5 interceptions against the Jets, a fumble. He's been sacked 13 times in those 3 games. Last year, he had the worst game of the season against the Jets. They actually lost to the Jets last year.
Right.
With Mike
won
White
5 out of the
and
last
Zach
6
Wilson
against
quarterback.
the Jets.
Yeah, so, I mean, he has trouble with them. His lowest passer rating last year was against the Jets. And so I'm not going to throw him out. Rob, they got the Raiders and the Commanders next 2 games. And then they got a couple of tough ones after that. So those are 2 very winnable games for a team that many think is a contender. And so they need to win those games. He obviously needs to play well. If they do that, then, you can start thinking more positively about them again. But, it's a big week for Josh coming up, and he's got to deliver. Rob, he's reached that level where you're not going to judge him by the same standards as a mediocre quarterback.
No, he's beyond that. You expect special stuff from Josh Allen, not a 4 turnover game. You just don't expect that.
No, absolutely not.